How bad is our offensive line? The Texans' offensive line is atrocious. Let's unfortunately talk about it. Go, go.
Finger pistols.
Oh man, we back. We are back in this thing.
Back at it.
What's going on, y'all? Man, we had to take a little hiatus, unfortunately, man. That was, man, you had a trip planned. I had a trip planned. It was a thing where we did not expect to be gone for that long.
No, we didn't.
Miss post games, 2 post games we missed, bro.
Yeah.
And look, shout out to y'all. I mean, y'all hit us up. Look, I love when people talk shit. Talk your real shit, man. Y'all let us have it. In like previous comments was like, dog, what the fuck are y'all? And I understand. I get it. That's on us, But hey, we need.
Yeah, it was one of those things, man. Where we were just trying to, like, we knew I was going to be out for the weekend, but we kind of thought that we were still going to be able to get together, put some content together throughout the week. But the way my trip panned out, it didn't work out, and the internet service where I was at wasn't the greatest, and it was just, it was a combination of things, and we just kind of decided, like, all right, take, I'm going to take my time, spend with my family and stuff, and then you had your trip set up, so we kind of was like, you know what, let's just let the chips fall where they're gonna fall, and then let's get right back to it as soon as we get back. So here we are.
Hey, but I'm be honest, Omar. I missed this, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, my trip, both of our trips, obviously, leisure trips, right?
Right.
Much needed, much deserved leisure trips as we need as men, as fathers, as husbands, as hard-working fellas. But I did miss this. This wasn't something that I was like, oh man, I need a break from the pod. I'm like, damn, I'm missing the pod, bro.
Exactly.
I missed the bull run, man. So, we back. Can't promise that we never gonna leave again, but
I don't have any trips planned.
We back
for the rest of the year, so we'll be here. The plan is to be here. So,
yeah. But we gotta talk about this game, man. The Packers game. Now, look, obviously, we said going into this thing, we can we call this the Nico-less era, or the Nico IR era, right? Because we said
the Nico-less stint
the Nico-less stint. Without Nico, man, we were hoping best case scenario. Your best, you said best case scenario. The obvious, right, is 4-0, but
it's 4-0, right?
I thought a more realistic, being hopeful, for a record that was more realistic in my eyes, was going 3-1. So look, we predicted that the Packers game would probably be a loss, because they're a great team, right?
Correct.
But the way in which we lost, Omar, was like, we didn't have to lose that game.
No, we really didn't. I mean, going into this game, obviously we didn't get an opportunity to preview it and all that stuff, but the amount of injuries that we had on the defensive end is what at least I thought going into the game was going to be what was going to kill us, right? It was, so many injuries on the defensive end, so many holes on the defensive end. We had second and third string guys out there on defense that were showing up and showing out, absolutely showing out. I remember watching the game, and the first defensive stance that we had, we got a pick.
Yeah.
And then we get it all the way to the 3-yard line, and we fumble. And I thought to myself, we couldn't convert. We couldn't turn it into 7 points. We turned it into 3.
And guess who dropped another pass and who has not been playing well this season? Look, we love the boy, but he ain't been producing this season at all.
Right.
This was without Nico. You expect Tank Dell to like step in and obviously not 100% fill those shoes, but fuck, man, like play like you were playing last season. It just ain't been happening. So yeah, I mean that you were hoping that wouldn't be an indication of how the game was gonna go. You got a short field right after a pick, a turnover. and we can't turn this into 7 right now. And it's unfortunately it was an indication of how the fucking
Right.
game was gonna go. Cause I mean, we just I mean, look, that's the main thing we're gonna talk about, right? It's just the offensive struggles, but it
Right.
starts up front, you know.
Right. Absolutely starts up front. And what that first sequence of play, that first offensive and first defensive and offensive series that we had, you're absolutely right. I didn't think it was going to be an indicator of how the game was going to go at all. Because once again, we came in there very injured on the defensive side. And then, as I always like to say, we got 7 at the helm. Like,
Yeah.
there really isn't much that can go wrong when you got 7 at the helm, right? So I thought to myself, okay, that first offensive stint, we'll call it a bad fumble. We'll just call it a, I don't know, stone hand situation from Dell or whatever. I figured it was going to be an isolated thing, right? It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Of
And I
course.
was
Yeah.
happy to see that our defense was actually making a difference, regardless of the fact that we came in there completely undermanned.
Man.
I was like, this is going to be
Yeah.
great, right? I was like, this is going to be great. Defense is going to continue to ball out. And they did, right? The defense continued to
Yeah,
absolutely get
absolutely.
turnovers, right? And one of the things that popped up at the end of that game that some of the analysts were saying is, how do you get 4 takeaways and don't win a game?
That's the story of the game. You know, it's absolutely the story of the game, Omar.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, bro. I mean, I think that was everyone looking at the injury report like, dog, like 5 starters out from the defense. Like, damn, we don't have Lassiter. Damn, both of our
Right.
freaking linebackers are out. It's like, yo, how the hell what are we gonna do against this high-powered offense? You know, Jordan
Right.
Love's balling out, bro. And look, that's an indication, Omar, that tells you to tell we have a great defense. We talked about it after last game. We were like, yo,
Right.
we have to stop pretending like we don't have a really good defense. This
Exactly.
defense is great. You know, what was it? Who did we play before we played the Packers, man? Whoever it was, we finally generated those takeaways and things like
The
that
Patriots.
generated like fantasy points. The Patriots, yeah, you know, and obviously that it's not a good team, right? But we looked the part, at least with the style points and everything, right?
Right, exactly.
But hey, we have a damn good defense, and we just have to accept the fact that, I mean, D'Amico's doing what D'Amico does, making that defense great. But coming into the season, bro, in the off season, all the rave, man. We're the darlings. We're the media darlings. Everybody's just talking about how crazy, high-powered offense, like what we're gonna have, what we're gonna be able to do. And it's a tragedy, man, that our offensive line cannot let us be the team that we know that we should absolutely be, because it's their fault, Omar. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not sugarcoating this shit. I'm not the coach. I'm not the Texans PR team. It's their fucking fault, man. It's like when parents, you know, get together, they about to get a divorce because they got a problem child, and they sit up there and lie, look at the child and say, hey, you know what? It's not your fault that we're splitting up. You know, it's
No, it
on us.
absolutely is. God damn it.
Your fucking fault, offensive line. It's your fault, and you need to know it. They need to know.
Yeah.
They need to know. Man,
CJ was 10 for 21 for 86 yards.
That's not a CJ Stroud stat.
That's not a CJ Stroud stat. Absolutely not.
And look, let's be clear. We almost won the game. This was almost another game where we was gonna come into this thing talking about it was still a moral loss. You know, we still got stuff to clean up, and that would have been great. Would have put us at 6-1. We wouldn't be going into a Colts game next week where we in position to be tied in a division with that trash ass team. You know, it's crazy, bro. It would have been great to still escape with that win, and we'll talk about at the end of the game how coaching scenarios, in the game scenarios, still botched that situation, bro. We still should have won that game despite how bad the offensive line was and how bad the offense looked because of it. But finally, I told you, bro. I told you those in-game situations and those end of half clock management situations was eventually going to catch up to us. And it unfortunately did this game.
It did.
You know, we could have escaped with the win. But no, man. So look, for those of y'all that didn't watch the game, or maybe are like, you know, or on the fence, like maybe the offensive line didn't play so bad, or maybe, you know, they look, whatever the case is, let's cue this up, Omar, so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about and exactly how we lost this game. And this clip will show the consistencies of what we're dealing with. I mean, it's atrocious.
This Texans offensive line sleep at night. That's Rashawn Gary off the ball. You think he's not blitzing after the snap? You've got two guys left of center to block two pass rushers. They hardly even lay a hand on
Jesus,
Gary.
man, he just walks right in
has
there.
to throw it away.
Terrible.
The right tackle just falls over here, getting into his pass set. Again, let's count the numbers left of center. It ends up being 3 on 2 rushers, and the tight end just doesn't take anybody, lets that safety come free and plaster C.J. Stroud. Here, Laramie Tunsil tries to help out his left guard a little bit. He lends an inside hand to help block Lucas Van Ness, but he totally misses his edge rusher, and Stroud is once again under major pressure, can't deliver an accurate throw. Here, a little stunt from the backer and defensive tackle just shreds.
They can't handle these stunts.
Dude, they can't handle these stunts at all, bro.
Here's a TE stunt from Enegare and Carl Brooks, and Shaq Mason just never disconnects.
Walks right in the front door,
Here's another stunt right in the middle of that offensive line from the 2 mugged up linebackers, and Scruggs in the back can't make good contact. Stroud goes down again. Stroud went into this game
was all
MVP
game.
candidate. He finished with a completion percentage sub 50%.
47%
86 passing yards on the game. Not a single touchdown. Rough game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tale of the game, man. That tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. And it's sad to see, like I said, it takes him out of you can't be considered an MVP candidate when you on 10 out of the 12 plays, the boy is being pressured like crazy. And you said it too, man. I don't know what, when they see a stunt, they just have brain farts, bro. They're like,
they don't know what
they got us. Yeah, it's like they got us. They're gonna get you, CJ. You better run, bro. It's complete matador defense, dog. You might as well just have a red cape out there. Just get offensive line red capes, and let the Bulls through. Let them after our quarterback, man. I don't get it.
He had to make some pretty ugly runs too, man. He took a pretty hard shot. I think it was in the third quarter. They kind of folded him up a little bit that I was really concerned about.
Yeah.
That kind of scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh crap. Hey, he took a hard hit on that one. Then they do the replay and you can see him kind of like folded up in the way he got hit. I was like, man, what are we doing here? The offensive line went from causing too many penalties and not getting off the ball correctly. We only have 5 penalties this game. 5 penalties for 55 yards, which is probably the lowest that we've had, I think, all season. But at the same time,
they were pretty clean the Patriots game.
Were they?
But yeah, I mean, sadly, this was a better game with penalty wise. But
they were pretty clean. There was only 4 penalties in the Patriots game. So yeah, you're right. So they've cleaned up that aspect of it. But this goes back to something that we talked about way at the beginning of the season, and even during the preseason, when we were talking about Laramie Tunsil, and we were talking about how he's just going to get you 1 or 2, false start penalties every game. It just is what it is, and we kind of attributed it to how great he is because he's so good at getting those first jumps on these guys that sometimes he does it so early that he gets a false start penalty. And so we kind of glossed over it. This was before the 7 penalty game that we had, where it was like 120 yards or something stupid like that. Yeah. We just kind of accepted it as an inevitability and kind of wrote it off, right? We were like, it is what it is. We almost accepted those penalties as an eventuality to the fact that he's protecting CJ Stroud. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they go and they clean it all up, right? Now we're barely getting any penalties. 4 penalties, 5 penalties. We're cleaning it. But they're getting smoked.
And we can't put it all on Tunsil, right?
No, you can't.
I mean, it's not really. I mean, yeah, he had that one clip which looked really bad, right? But
yeah, he looked horrible.
For the most part,
who was the one that just literally fell on his ass?
I think that was Titus, bro.
Was that Titus?
I've been disgusted with Titus Howard since the first Colts game, bro. Since the very first game of the season, he just looks lazy. He looks uninterested, bro. It's weird because
You know what's wild,
he's
dude?
got his money.
Is that he fell, but like non-contact. Like, watch him. He's right here.
Just fucking goofy. Just a
He
goofball.
just fell, bro. Like, he just fell. Like,
Yep, they're gonna get you, CJ.
He got tangled up with Stover or something. I don't know what happened here, but
Yeah, no, that's
bro.
awesome. Offensive lineman on the ground as the pass rushers coming in. That's the perfect place for him to be. Awesome.
And he just absolutely gets a clear shot at Stroud, man.
Yeah, no bueno, homie. No. The talks obviously now, man. Look, like I said, we always have smart fans. You guys are smart. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for being here. Bull Run Sports Podcast channel. Sorry for our little hiatus. We back though, and look, hey, I'm still saying, hit the subscribe button, okay? Hit it
for sure.
You hit the subscribe button. We'll take no more breaks. All right. If this video alone gets 100 new subscribers from this video, we'll never go anywhere.
We'll be here for the rest of the season. No matter if I gotta shoot this on an airplane.
Absolutely. So look, 100 subscribers this video. No more breaks. All right. No more breaks. Omar won't be dealing with the COVID symptoms that he has right now. Everything will be great. Everything will be good.
Sinuses are crazy right now. My sinuses are all over
that shit home from El Salvador, bruh.
No, I was straight in El Salvador. I was up in the mountains, brother. It wasn't nothing up there but fresh air.
Now, what you expect to happen? You in that cold, dog?
No, man. That should kick my ass as soon as I got back. As soon as I touched down, I breathed in all that pollen. I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
But
back to the good old Houston air, man.
That's it, man. Yeah. Back.
Hey, I mean, so look, obviously the talks around the city, the buzz, the coaching staff hears it. Everyone hears it in over on Fannin, right? They got to do something about this O-line. The trade deadline is coming up. What do we do, Omar? Do we make some changes? They got, obviously, man, there's teams out there right now that know they ain't going nowhere this season. So it's like, a little bit of a fire sale. What do? Do you gear up, get some trade picks in, start gearing up to make your team better for next year, right? And who are some teams out there that could benefit from something like that? Getting some draft picks, maybe some 4th, 5th round draft picks from us, and we benefit from getting some offensive linemen that ain't gonna be on their ass as pass rushers are heading towards our franchise quarterback. So it was some interesting names, man. You guys got the guy. I apologize, man. I can't remember these names off the top of my head, man. Maybe you can pull them up, Omar. But I know the Brown,
offensive linemen that are on the open market or what?
Nah, just on the trade block, man. That might be a little hard to find, but the Cleveland Browns, they're an interesting trade partner with us, right? I don't know if they want to really jump back into bed with us.
Yeah. We fleeced them pretty hard last time.
But they got a kid that would be pretty interesting. And like, hey, I apologize. Y'all hit us up in the comments, man. If you can help me out with some of the names that they could potentially trade with us, man. But obviously, I think they'd be in the market. Their season ain't gone nowhere near the way that they wanted to. Deshaun Watson, he's probably done, bro.
Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done.
I think it's a wrap on brother's career. It's just too much. 100%. Too much going on with the guy, man. So that may be, the last that we've seen of him, man. So they may be a trade partner. You got the Las Vegas Raiders. I keep thinking they back in Oakland.
You said Cleveland had a kid. What was he? Center, guard, tackle? What was he?
I want to say a guard. I think he could play either guard or center. Cause shit, we need both.
Yeah, we need both.
We need both, man. If we can't find the names, it's all good. Because, like I say, these are hypothetical situations, so it may not be like readily available. Y'all hit us up in the comment section if
I got this little list right here.
Okay, yeah, I bet.
So these are guards, centers, and then tackles. So here are all the tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, roll back up.
So you think we got a personnel issue, huh?
Bro, I mean, I don't know. You tell me what you think, man. I mean,
Look, the offensive line has been an issue for a long time for various reasons throughout the season, right? They've been. I mean, I don't know. I if I'm D'Amico, I'm looking at the coach first, and I'm going, "What the hell are you doing, man?" Because if you watch this interview, he did an interview. I don't remember if it was the directly after the game or the day after the game, but he said something that was really interesting. He said, "I've been asking for things to change, and I'm not seeing it on tape." Right. So now you can look at that as a personnel thing, right? But I don't think he's out there asking the offensive lineman to do certain things, right? I mean, he's obviously delegating that, right? He's talking to his offensive line coach and saying, "Hey, we need to tighten up this, we need to tighten up that. You need to work on this, and you need to work on that." I don't know if it's. Our offensive line coach, I forget his name, Chris Strauss or Strasser, something like that. This is only his second year. I think he came in with D'Amico. Had a stint with the Colts for a while. I'm not exactly sure how decorated of a offensive line coach he is and what are some of his accolades, but I mean, I don't know. I find it very odd, man, that this was the game where it was like ridiculously glaring. I'm with you on Titus. Titus got paid and he went to sleep. I don't know what's up with that cat. Right.
I don't either, man.
Tunsil seems to have tightened it up a little bit, which I'm happy about, right? I mean, he's cleaned up a lot of his penalties and stuff. And but things like not knowing what to do when you see a stunt, to me, that's not a personnel thing, right? To me, that's a coaching thing. To me, that's something that you as a coach, as an offensive line coach, you gotta be able to coach that kind of technique with your guys where you're showing them and teaching them and coaching them about what to look out for when these stunts are coming at you.
Omar, I completely agree with you. I mean, but these first of all, these are professional. These are NFL players at the NFL level.
Right.
It's not the first time that they've seen a stunt before.
Exactly.
You're doing it in junior high.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You should know what to do. So I'm with you. Yes, that's a coachable thing, but we're going into week 8.
I know.
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
Point.
So if you're not learning, if you're not doing the things that these coaches clearly are telling them, it will be beyond belief to me to know that they're not coaching how to protect, because we dealt with that week 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're not getting it, you got to go. So then it becomes a personnel issue. Get you some guys that are going to figure it out, because we can't have I mean, this was the worst game for CJ that we've seen since that Jets game last year where he got concussed. And you said it too. Seeing CJ Stroud, CJ, our franchise quarterback, the guy that we've gone out and built our entire team around, seeing him twitching on the ground after getting hit for the 10th fucking time.
That was not good.
It's unacceptable. So hey, look, I like our guys. We've been talking about this team all off season, hyping them up. We built a fucking YouTube channel dedicated to our belief that these guys are going to get it done. But at the end of the day, we always say it, bro. We're not in here to like hold hands, eat cupcakes with these guys. If you want to do your job, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. And if they're not protecting our franchise quarterback, if you're not listening,
the golden goose,
you got to go. We'll see you later. We'll see you later. It's just that simple.
Yeah, he's the number one asset that we have, and everything must be done to protect him at all costs. I don't care if you got to kick a motherfucker in his nuts.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? You ever seen that dude that jumped up at like, it seemed like a low budget MMA fight where he's like, grab his dick and twist it. You ever see that?
That's like weird porn you watch, bro.
That other guy was like, "Oh, dude, what the hell, man?" He's like, "Oh, give him the old dick twist." I gotta pull that up, man. That shit's funny.
That's crazy. But dude, I mean, like, bro, when Titus was laying on the ground, he just allowed old dude to run. Take a penalty, bro. You can't let a free rusher just come in and lay your quarterback out, bro. You can't do that.
Right,
Like
exactly.
grab him by the ankle, something. He's just like, they got me on this one.
Right.
I feel I don't know, man. I don't see it. I don't see the protection. They need Michael Orr mama to come out there and teach them that the quarterback is the number one asset.
Grab it. Yeah. What's her name? God, what's her name? Sandra Bullock. Yeah.
Get Sandra Bullock out there, man.
She was bad. She was bad in that movie. Sandra Bullock was.
Hey, she bad still. She been bad her whole life.
I mean, I don't know if she still got it. I mean, she's like in her 60s now, ain't she? Some shit like that.
Pull her up. Shit, J-Lo's still bad too. Like, just because they getting older don't mean they.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Still got it.
I mean, if you into that.
I mean, I am.
This is the one I was talking about.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. You twist that dick! Twist his dick! Twist his dick! Oh my god. Oh, dick twist!
I can't believe you never seen that, bro.
Goofy, bro. No, I ain't never.
Oh my god, dude, it's an MMA fight.
The old dick twist. That's hilarious, dick twist, bro. That's
what these offensive linemen need to do, man. By any means necessary, bro.
Keep them off of 7.
Keep him off of 7, bro. That's all we're asking you to do. He's the golden goose of this franchise. Without him, nothing else happens.
No, and like we said, CJ's so good that despite how bad they treated this brother, our defense is so good. We still had an opportunity to win that game.
Yes, it came down to a walk-off kick.
Bro, CJ, as long as this is how what we say, as long as you got CJ Stroud in the game, you always have a chance. He was atrocious on every third down.
Yeah,
on every third, and obviously we see why, because nobody's protecting him, right? Like he don't have time to throw the ball. But when it came down to it, when it came down to it, when we needed it most,
he made some throws.
It made a bro. It was like it almost was like it don't matter what the fuck you've done previously in the game.
Right.
When you need it most, he makes throws that are just like. He pulls a rabbit out the hat, bro.
That's one of the things that's always been so talked about with CJ Stroud is his ability to completely forget about the previous play, stay completely cool, and then just all right, let's move on.
Ball out, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk for a second about the end of that game. All right, like I say, he did what he needed to do to get us in position to win. Phenomenal drive. Then we get, I can't remember how long we had the ball, man, but it was something crazy. I think it was like almost 7 minutes left in the game.
Like that. Yeah.
And it's like we're driving just a meticulous drive, like hitting it. We get down there in field goal range, 2 minutes left, and it's like, dude, we've held the ball this long. We're moving the ball awesomely. Come out the 2-minute warning and just keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Let's get 7 points and let's get the fuck out of Green Bay with the W. Awesome. But nope.
Or at least run down the clock.
So
keep the field goal.
So right at the very least,
at the end,
make that happen, right?
Yeah.
So 2 minutes left. Green Bay got all 3 timeouts. It's just football 101. It's what you do. If you're playing Madden, against an 11-year-old, this is what they're gonna do, bro. You gotta make them use all their timeouts. But why, Omar? Why stifle the offense when they're finally playing well? You still got CJ Stroud, like we said. Bobby Slowick cannot all of a sudden just stifle him and be like, okay, we're gonna go ultra conservative and just run the ball here, dog. Look, if the defense is expecting a run on first down right out the 2-minute warning, put the ball in the air. You got Stephon Diggs, you got Tank Dell, you got Dalton Schultz, you got all these weapons, mixing out the backfield, whatever you want to do. If the defense is lined up and expecting a run to make them use their timeouts, hit them with something different, hit them with something they're not expecting. But you run plays. They have been eating up, mixing in the backfield the whole game, and of course that's what happens. But look, Omar, like you say, to your point,
when you don't have run blocking, that's what happens.
To get offensive line credit, they did do a decent job of run blocking. Look,
man, Joe Mixon did a decent job of running. Is
Yeah.
what he did.
facts.
He
Having
did.
Mixon back
Mixon did a better job of running than the offensive line did a job of run blocking.
I got you. That's,
I think Mixon got his stats despite the fact that the offensive line couldn't fucking run.
you're
block.
probably not wrong because it's tough for me to give any credit to the offensive line right now, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
having Joe Mixon
made
back
me happy.
has been big. But look, let's talk about this atrocious call on the third down play.
Third
Right.
and 12, I think it was.
Yes, bro. I mean, just
we throw an out route to Tank Dell, who hadn't caught a ball all game,
and above the sticks,
And
Omar.
above the
It wouldn't even been a first down. It wouldn't even been a first down, and you threw it out of bounds. I just disbelief at that point. Look, if you're gonna run the ball on first and second, I'm so mad I'm fucking up my equipment. Like, if you're gonna run the ball on first and second down, clearly you're showing your strategy. You want to make them use a timeouts, which ain't a terrible strategy.
right?
Just stick with that shit. Don't all of a sudden throw the ball and let them save a timeout. And that's how they won the game. I mean, that's how they won the game. They got the ball like a minute left. You can't do that with these. Jordan Love is a good quarterback, man.
Right.
He's
You
not
don't-
reached the like elite status, but he's a good enough quarterback to get them in field goal range
Right.
with a fucking minute left. So
Especially with our new kickoff
Yeah.
thing, it's not that hard to get in the field goal range, right? And like
No.
you said, Jordan Love's a serviceable enough quarterback that he can get you there, and he had plenty of time. And then they still, if I'm not mistaken, had one timeout left, didn't they?
Well, that's what got them the game. So they had a play where they threw it to Romeo Dobbs, like in the middle of the field, and
Right.
some kind of way botched something with the clock. Anyway, but the clock ran down all the way to 3 seconds.
3 seconds, yeah.
Guess what
And
would have
they
happened if
timeout.
they didn't have a fucking timeout left? If we would have just ran our clock management the way we would have needed to,
They wouldn't have had a timeout to use. Game would have been over.
game would have been over, man. So it's bad. And like I said, those clock management issues was going to catch up to us eventually, and unfortunately they did. That would have been a big walk-off win, man. A big walk-off win for us, in a tough environment to play in. And but look, that's not the tale of the game. That's just an unfortunate event, compiled with the fact that our offensive line played so bad that we couldn't get anything going on offense. But you would hope to be able to put a band-aid on that and still get a win like we have, previous games this season. Shit, we only played one good game against a rookie quarterback in his very first start in the NFL, that Patriots game. So I don't know, man. It's rough. It's tough to see, man. We're going into week 8, Omar, and like you mentioned, and D'Amico has said himself as well too, right? It's like, oh man, these are things that we just got to clean up. I got to be hard on the coaches so the coaches can be hard on the players. Bruh,
Yeah.
when's it gonna happen? It has to happen before the end of the season, man. We gotta. I mean, I'd rather be 5-2 than the alternative, right? So I don't know. You tell me. You talk me off the ledge, bro? Am I being too crazy, too rough right now?
I think you're right. We're 5-2, right? Which I mean, it's not a horrible record. It's not the best record, but it's not a bad record. I mean, it's not like we're 2-5, right?
Yeah.
Like we're at the head of our division. We're the conference. I think we're still second or third, right? Second or third. In the
I mean, we got one of the better records in the league, right?
So we're not horrible. I think what you and I are, the reason why we're so critical, even in these tough like losses of a game, is because we know what that back end of our schedule looks like, right? Not only that, but we know that that back end of the schedule, those are the guys we're gonna have to go through in order to get to New Orleans this year or next year, right?
Yep.
So we're seeing these things, like you and I are looking at this offensive line and going, man, that ain't gonna cut it against KC. That ain't gonna cut it against the Ravens. That ain't gonna cut it against that might not even cut it. That's not gonna cut it against the Vikings if we see them again. That ain't,
Boy,
you know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna see the Vikings again unless they go to the Super Bowl, which they could. But the Lions, it ain't gonna cut it against.
That ain't gonna cut it against the Lions.
And they ain't gonna cut us no slack on their offense. Jared Goff
No.
is, bro. Anybody
Oh.
not putting Jared Goff in the MVP conversation is a damn fool.
It's crazy.
And don't understand football. I mean,
I'm
he's
with you 100%.
He's incredible, man. So,
but I think it's not us being too critical or like me needing to talk you off the ledge or anything. I just think that you and I both know, like, we have high expectations, obviously, right? This is the whole premise of the channel, is that we feel we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We have everything that we need in our hands right now to go to the Super Bowl, right? Personnel wise, all the people are there. If everybody is healthy, then we have one of the best squads in the league, hands down. And then again, I say this again, number 7 at the helm, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that we're being too critical. It's just that we know what's coming. We know what's coming, and we know what we need to get ready for. We see this on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, we know our team. And trust me, man, that's probably people around the city that, maybe looked at that game and looked at how the game ended and was like, oh man, we were so close, but we're still 5-2. We're one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
We'll get them next week.
And that's all true.
It's yes and no. We look at these games even after wins and we know, we played like shit.
Yeah.
And we, like you say, we're not going to get away with that against the better teams.
But then when we play these better teams, bro, we're somebody different. Like
we
you and I
down to our competition.
Bro, like you and I had that Bills game like as something that was going to be like, we weren't winning that.
Yeah.
Right? We weren't winning that Bills game. There's no way, right? I mean, I kind of had an inkling that we would, but I was rolling on faith more than anything because I ain't had nothing. I ain't had nothing substantial to base my claims off of. I was rolling with pure heart.
But Omar, like we talked about, has there been any game this season that we win or lost that we've come out of the game and harped on the defense and be like, oh man, our defense is just we ain't gonna win games if this defense continue? Have we been
only one I'd say is the Vikings
at all? Have we been critical of the defense at all?
No, but I mean, if you wanted to pick a game, you could pick the Vikings game where they put up 35 points on us.
Well, man, we had turnovers. I mean, it's that's that
but to your point,
offense can lead to poor defense as well, right? So
right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but for the most part, our defense is why we're 5-2. Our defense is why we have that good of a record, man. And we have to, like I say, accept the fact and know, like, our defense, we have a great defense, bro. Well coached defense. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have a defensive-minded head coach, and he's a great coach,
right?
But obviously, that's on that side of the ball. Look, there's been a shit ton of criticism this year about Bobby Slowick.
Bobby Slowick, yeah,
man,
rightfully so.
As great as Bobby Slowick was last year, dog, his inability to adjust, and like, you got calls that just clearly ain't working. Things ain't working. Let's change it up, Bobby. Let's do something different. It just hadn't happened, and it's like, damn, was he really as good a coach as we thought he was? Maybe he should have.
I think we might have hyped him up a little too much. Yeah, I think we hyped him up a little too much at the end of the season last year. It was probably more CJ Stroud, right? And then again, a lot of it, we talked about this, right? The sophomore slump with CJ that is non-existent, right? I mean, there's no sophomore slump. However, I kind of feel like Bobby's coming in with the same plays, and
Bobby having a sophomore slump, huh?
Well, it's not that he's having a sophomore slump, but he's trying to come into this season with almost the same playlist, right? And teams are they're getting hyped to it, especially now that we got Mixon, right? I mean, they knew those runs were coming. First down, second down at the end of that game, they knew we were running the ball. Yeah. So what they do? They stacked the motherfucking box. And then we didn't even call an audible. We didn't even try to call out of it or nothing. We just ran the fucking play, and we lost 2 yards on every single play. So it's like, what are we doing, man? And then now we're sitting here 3rd and 13, and CJ's got to pull a rabbit out of his ass every single time. It's like, come on, Bobby, like, do something different, bro. Like, if they think you're gonna run the ball because you've been doing it for the last 4 quarters, how about we throw it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, though, bruh, you expect whatever your play call is, man. You expect your offensive line to block. They they gotta block and they gotta protect. And
Yeah.
like I say, the tail of the tape, bro, is absolutely the atrociousness of the offensive line, man. So hey, football is a team sport. Football, everything has to work in tandem, man. Everything has to be fine-tuned. And it just begs the question, bro, what the fuck are they doing in Kansas City? How do they have everything so dialed in? Because them brothers ain't playing they best football right now, but they 6-0. You know, so it's like what's going on with that, man? But you know,
I got my opinions about what's going on with that because 2 of them games they shouldn't have won.
Oh, yeah.
Them joints was handed to them by the referees on a motherfucking silver platter.
But you earn those opportunities, right? We talked about
though, but okay, all right. So that's like you know Michael Jordan and LeBron James getting the benefit of the call, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like it is what
exactly.
it is, right?
Yeah.
So they're the media darlings, you know. They got, I mean, we think we're the media darlings. They got Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that, you know, the league has to have KC in the Super Bowl, right? So we'll see.
Man.
We'll see how it goes. But I mean, yeah, I mean, look, if it wasn't for the referees, I think we'd be in a better position. We'd be neck to neck with KC as far as record goes.
Yeah, you're saying because they would have had.
Oh yeah, they would have dropped those 2 games.
They were supposed to have. Yeah.
Especially the first one with the toe. Oh come on, man, give me a break.
I think it was the second that one. He was out of bounds. I think it was the second game with the egregious, like obvious pass interference call.
Interference. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, yo, this H-Town, man, we doing our thing. We back. Y'all hit the subscribe button. Y'all hit the like button. Do all the things. Hit all the buttons. Visit our merch shop, man. We back. We'll be here more consistent. We hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, to do some crosstalk with a Colts fan this week.
Oh yeah, shout out to our boy John.
Yeah, big Colts game coming up. Unfortunately, this is we in a situation where we playing for a tie in the division with this terrible team, dog. I don't like that, man. It's crazy. This shouldn't be as big a game. You know, we're a better team. We're a better team than them.
We are a better team, but to you know, the Colts. Let me see. Where are they at?
The Colts are always just right there, like just mediocrity, like barely scraping by your 9-8 type records, you know, like kind of being a pest to where you really can't get that much of a lead as much as you want on them in the division. They you know, they not the Jags, they not the Titans, right?
Yeah,
they
but
just kind of linger around most.
I mean, but let's look at who they beat. They beat the Dolphins without Tua. Right? They beat the Titans. Okay. They beat the Jaguars. Okay. No. Sorry. The Jaguars beat them. The Jaguars beat them. I mean, come on.
That was a big help. That was a big help. We needed them to
they beat the Steelers.
That's a big win.
They beat yeah, that is a big win. I'll give them credit for that one. They beat the Bears.
They played them at the right time too, just like us, man. The Bears been on fire.
Yep. And then they lost to the Packers, which is who we lost to as well. And then we smoked them. Well, we didn't smoke them, but we beat them week 1. So look, they're gonna come back. We're gonna give them another shellacking, and they'll be on their way, man. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man. Well, yeah. Hopefully we'll have that interview set up, man. You know, do some crosstalk. That'll be fun. That'll be cool. But anyway, y'all keep it locked. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button so you know when these videos are dropping. This week we do absolutely plan to have a post-game live. Y'all hit us up, join us on camera. It's either gonna be at the crib like we've been doing it, or shit, it's gonna be outside of NRG Stadium, man, because we still trying to figure out
working on that
this game. So we'll let y'all know the details on that, man. But anyway, love y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.